Assalamu alaikum and hello to my non-Muslim viewers. I just want to talk about something that I recently got, and that's this, The Amazing Spider-Man number 54, which is a very old comic. It's a comic book from the 60s. So as most of my viewers know, I'm a big comic book fan and a big collector of, uh, comic books and action figures and superhero movies and things like that. And so I recently just got this. So let's open it up and let's take a look. It's going to be one of those unboxing videos or whatever. Anyways, let's see this. So it's this comic's in pretty good condition. It's probably it's not a perfect it's not a perfect copy. For those of you who know about comic book grading, it's not like a 9.0 or a 10 or anything like that. So I took it out of the board, so you can see that there's some crinkles and things like that, and there's some wrinkles, or I don't know if you can see that, but there's some wrinkles over there, and and then the back there's a smudge in the back. So this is not a perfect copy by any means, but still, I really wanted like one of the old Spider-Man comics, so I finally was finally able to get one. This particular copy was pretty expensive, but I just wanted it. So yeah, I mean, let's just take a look at that. So the pages are kind of fading too. I don't know if you can tell, but here's just like a sample page. So it's not this book isn't in like perfect 10 or perfect 9 condition, but it's still like readable. It's still like it's still you can still it's still collectible. So basically, right? Like I like old comic books, right? I don't like the new stuff. I like classical stuff like Silver Age comic books and things like that. So I'm not really interested in the new comic books and the new superhero movies and things like. There's some good ones, but it's all about shared universes now. It's not like individual stories like the Silver Age comic books, like comic books from this era, which this was published in 1967. So comic books from this era, they tend to focus on individual stories of the superhero and his struggles and things like that. Now it's all about the Justice League, or it's all about the Avengers. It's all about like shared movie universes and shared superhero groups. And there's no more individual stories. Well, there is, but it's not that common, right? There's no more individual stories. There's not much of the individual hero struggles and things like that. But this is one of the comic books that really this is one of the series. The first 100 Spider-Man issues were all about Spider-Man, struggling to find his place in the world and stuff like that. Those are some really good stories. Unfortunately, they don't make it like they used to, right? They don't make the TV shows and the comic books and the movies like they used to when it came to focusing on the individual characters and their individual struggles to do what they thought was right. But anyways, I'm actually very happy I got a copy, an original Spider-Man copy from the 60s. That it's kind of rare to get these books, because these books you have to like special order them on Amazon, or I'm not sorry, not on Amazon, like on eBay, and you have to get them in stores and stuff like that. So this one I got it in a comic book store. I just saw it and for sale, and I just had to get it. So I had to share this little treasure that I found. Um, so yeah, if you're an old school comic book collector and stuff like that, save your comic books, because one day they could be valuable. I think the price on this, if I sell it on eBay or something, I'll probably fetch $40 or $30 or somewhere in that neighborhood, because this is not a perfect copy, but still, like, I don't want to sell it because it's just such a valuable treasure to me. Unless someone offers me like, I don't know, like $100,000, then yeah, I'll let it go. But it's so valuable because it's so old. It's like a classical. it's like you can't go wrong with the classics, right? You can't, like, there's a saying, old is gold. Well, old comic books are gold, like literally gold, because you can sell it for like high amounts of money. I remember somebody sold Action Comics #1 for $1 million. A few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, and on eBay of all places. So you can get some pretty penny for your old comic books. So save your comic books, your old comic books from the Silver Age. I'm not talking about the new ones, but the old ones from the '60s, from the '70s. They could fetch a pretty penny if they're in good condition. This is like a 6.0. According to the person who sold me it, it's a 6.0. Or storekeeper who sold me it, but it's still a good copy. I have this framed in my room because it's such a valuable thing. From it's such a classical thing that it just needs to be framed and put like in somebody. It needs to be framed, right? It can't just be sitting around like with your old comic books. It needs to be framed to show that I got an original Spider-Man comic book. So yeah, I wanted to share what I recently purchased. So save your comic books; they could be worth a lot.